Hey, it's Marc Warnke, the goat guy. I'm going to show you how to use the California bander, which I've done Burdizo, I've done castration, traditionally cutting. I've also done, the little bands, and I've done this. And for goats that you're trying to help have a developed urethra, you need to push to that 4 to 6 month mark to let their urethra fully develop. They need to be those early stages of rut, and that's your indication that he's ready to be castrated. This little guy's doing all those things at about 4.5 months. So he's a little on the earlier end, but at the same time you can see the size of his testicles now. They're super huge. There's no way you're going to get a bander around that. So the California bander just works really awesome, and I highly recommend it, and you can get these on the site. So what we're going to do to use them, they have a little notch on the top, and so that notch is going to slide right up under this clip. So you can see that there's an edge here that's going to slide up right underneath that clip, and then that's what locks it down and holds it in place. So we're just going to put it into there. Then we're going to put the rubber band, and I like to have a little stretch to it because then that starts us out between that finger right there. So that's how that goes. Then you're going to grab the testicles in your hand, okay, and this is bigger than they're going to be, and we're going to go in a downward motion. Now that downward motion keeps the band away from the teats, and it's important to do, and you'll see once I grab the live subject here why that's important, because you'll see how easy it is to get up into the teats. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to pull out all the stretch. So I'm literally getting as stretched as I can. I come around and then I put it in that little notch right there, and bam, I'm done. So then when I'm going to inject it, I just go kind of down and up, and this thing comes right out, and now it's on there. It's tight, super tight. Like there's no way I could get a finger in there. And then I like to cut the testicles off with a hoof trimmer at about 10 to 15 days. Make sure they have a CD&T on board, so we're going to go ahead and show you how to do it live, but the CD&T is what's going to help with any possibility of necrotic tissue being next to live tissue. I'm going to go ahead and set that aside because I'm going to use a freshie. With your California bander on the site, you also have the option to order your bands. You'll need those. It's a little bit overkill with how many you have depending on your herd size, but it is what it is. That's kind of the increment they make available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and band him now. We're going to go ahead and put that in the notch. And so now I'm ready to go. Put a little bit of pressure. Now I'm through like this. I'm going to grab him, and one of the things I like to do is to make sure that I get his testicles low in his scrotum, because then that keeps me away from the teats. You can see the teats here. So I like to grab this as kind of as low as I can get, because that's the hard part, is to grab them low. Then I'm going to take all the stretch out of it, come around, and he's done. And it's just that easy. So super simple system. Now I'm going to double check and make sure I don't have a teat. You can see the teats clear up here. You can see the other teats clear up here. We're nice and low, lots and lots of room. This is so tight that there's no way I can get a finger in there, and he's ready to go. You can see a little bit of wincing stuff. Now sometimes what I'll do is I'll go ahead at this point and put some Banamine. I have a pour-on Banamine I'll put right over their back. It'll help them deal with a little bit of the pain. Honestly, I find that these guys do adjust to it really well. They're gonna kind of walk around gut punched for, a day, maybe. Most of them, it's 20-30 minutes, and then they're kind of up, and they may lay down and go, oh, I don't feel so good. But honestly, it's really, of all the different ways to weather a male goat, by far I like the California bander, and again, you can get those on the site. So Marc Warnke, Tricia, my lady, she's here helping. Thanks for the help, and I hope you find that helpful. Good luck on that. So this guy, we literally just, I think it's only been 1 minute since we just put the bander on. He's back to eating. He's totally normal. I just really want people to see how well that tool works, and that it's just, kind of cool in the gang. If we're trying to take care of this for them with the least impactful way, I'm not the enemy. Everything's all good. Let's go ahead and get him down and actually see how he walks. I usually find that they're like what's between my legs, so more of a confusion than, come on buddy, more of a confusion, like what's between my legs. See how you can see he's like, what is that thing that's touching the inside of my leg? But he's certainly not wincing. He's not in high levels of pain. He's not moaning. He's not groaning. You can tell something's like, well, hey, what's going on? But, you know, he's doing good. We're buddies still, you know. So really, it's a super humane way to do it, and I highly suggest the California Bander. It just works super good. So again, hope you find that helpful. Good boy. All right, so in review, so you have a second one to watch. Again, I'm just going to go through the steps. I'm going to notch this in. There's my notch. It goes up underneath this lip right here. I notch underneath that lip, and then it settles in, right? So now it's in the right place. A little bit of stretch, put it between the fingers. Now I'm ready to grab the testicles there. So I'm going to step over here. Now his, you can see, are not as low. So this is going to be one of those ones where it's hard. So I actually kind of push them down to the bottom. So I can get them nice and low. So these are going to be, this is going to be testicles that are harder to get to versus the other goat that had just lower hanging. So I'm really going to have to make sure I wrap low when I go on these. So I'm going to get in with my hand. I'm going to kind of look at the angle of this so that I'm sure that I'm low, and I'm putting downward pressure to make sure I'm low. I'm going to extend all the way tight, come around, go into my notch, and then we're good. And we'll pull the tool out. Everything looks nice and tight. Teat is definitely not in there. So you can see I got lots of room, nice and tight. We're looking good. Good boy. Again, you know, kind of feels like I took advantage of him a little bit. He's like, what were you doing back there? But pretty easy. I mean, again, that's 2 in a row, and no bellering, no hollering, no moaning, no groaning, just kind of stampy foot and why are you grabbing my balls? So, you know, I mean, it's really a pretty easy system. So again, hope you find that helpful. So this is pretty normal because you know, people might ask, I mean, look, I just did them both, you know, minutes ago. He's had it maybe 4 minutes ago, the other one keeps laying down. See that? That's actually quite common, and if this goat would let him, he'll just lay down, and that's quite common. So don't get alarmed if these goats lay down, and you know, so you see he's kind of like, oh, that doesn't feel so hot, but that's really normal. So don't stress about it. Get up, get down. That's just like you and me being uncomfortable. Basically what's happening, I think, is that it's going numb. So it would be like if you rubbed a rubber band around the end of your finger. For that first couple of minutes, it's tingly, it kind of even hurts a little bit, and then it goes numb, and then they're just dealing with numb back there, and then they got that weird rubber band they're not used to kind of moving around. So you can see he's kind of like, oh, and he is too. So don't be alarmed if they lay down. I find that that's common. I've had some with the other banders make a little bit of noise and kind of be moany groany. I wouldn't be distressed about that either. Throw some Banamine on them if you're concerned about it, or give them some Banamine. But really, you'll see that it's a minor deal. So anyway, again, hope you find that helpful.